Hey there, this is going to be a quick review on this spray foam machine. So this spray foam machine you can buy from Alibaba, even right now on eBay. Actually, you can even purchase these machines probably on Amazon. Not sure, but there's already a domestic supply chain of these. So when I purchased these, I had to purchase it directly from China, directly from the manufacturer. And that's one thing I recommend when you purchase the spray foam or any equipment. If it's not firstly is always check to make sure if it's available domestically, like eBay, etc. The reason why is because if you're going to import it directly from the or to import it from overseas, you're going to be paying a lot of money, a lot of headache, and a lot of time. The importing tariffs, customs process is not something you want to go through. It's definitely something you'd better spend a couple $100, and even many times actually cheaper to just buy it domestically than overseas. Even though, so for example, this machine, I think it was like $3,300. Now you can buy this machine for $6,000 after tariffs, after shipping, etc. And this is before Trump's tariffs. Remember, this is years ago. So when tariffs were way lower on China, but back then I ended up spending almost six and a half, close to $7,000 on this machine. So yeah, definitely just purchase locally if possible. If whatever Chinese equipment you are interested in is available. So um, first question I get a lot of people asking me is how does it work? How does it operate? I love it. I absolutely love it. These hoses you can buy also. There's sellers online that you can get. The gun, the P2 spray gun, you could purchase also online. The hoses end up being like $600 for a 50-foot length. The the gun is, I think, like a couple $100, three, $400. If you need a brand new gun, the transfer pumps, those things. So far everything on this has been absolutely amazing. Of course, as with everything. So the number one thing if you're gonna get in the spray foam industry is there's a couple things. First thing, recognize is that everyone in the industry are drug addicts. They're messed up in the mind. There are a few very, very amazing individuals, but I'm just here to call out the entire industry. Y'all need some help. Like almost every person I talk to is has some sort of drug criminal history, and like even those in the tied up suits. And like again, I don't discriminate against someone's background and stuff, but the problem is when it's a trend like that, when it attracts that type of people, you start to see a lot of very, very common problems, a lot of trust issues, a lot of just a lot of problems with the spray foam industry and the people involved in it. So labor is definitely a number one issue in the spray foam industry. But machine costs, equipment costs is the number one thing you could help bring down. So second thing, repair and parts. So purchasing a lot of parts on this machine are off the shelf. So if we check, this is a basic air pneumatic pump. I can't really see what the camera's doing, but this is a very basic air cylinder pneumatic pump cylinder. It pumps or pushes down here, which you have two cylinders. I've already completely rebuilt them. Everything in there is mostly just seals, hydraulic seals, and stuff and O-rings. It's absolutely simple. What I love about Chinese is not like American manufacturers where they do so much work and so much effort to scrub any sort of identification. Like you literally just look at the U cup seal, for example, and it says the size on it. So yeah, really easy to buy parts for it and so forth, and you know. Yeah, love it, love it. That's the number one thing. I have a video I'm gonna upload pretty soon. I already have edited it. I just need to upload it on how to rebuild those pumps. So, pretty easy. It's something I'd recommend doing every like couple months, just ahead of time. It's literally just two bolts, yeah, like I said, it's something about, yes. So spray foam equipment is you are gonna have to be a mechanic. You are gonna have to be an expert in not an expert, but no basic hydraulics, no basic electrical. You're gonna have to have all these equipments, all these tools, multimeter, wrenches, so on and so forth. That is something you have to be as a spray foam operator. Spray foam operator is not an installation guy. A spray foam operator is a mechanic. It's someone who fixes equipment because you'll have shit happen on site. You'll have shit happen, whatever, and you have to be able to fix it on there and then and not, delay things. So, Yeah. As for purchasing the chemicals and stuff, you have to get a license, typically, not a license, sorry, a safety certification. It's pretty easy to get. It's a little online course. It's completely free to do, and it's a lot of companies where you buy the spray foam chemicals from. They'll require you to get it. So here is the results. Um, Pretty amazing, pretty love it. It's kind of shit in many aspects, as you see here and there. Completely on my my fault. Do not blame the spray foam machine. But this is where these doors, I had them on the floor, and again, I could have done a much better job. But I love it. I absolutely love it. This is insulation right now. I have it all uncovered. You can do fire coating on top, so it meets permitting regulations. But otherwise, it works absolutely fantastic. So there's that what you need to operate. So this is probably what I should have said first, but I want to rant about the industry. The first thing is, so this machine, the one on Amazon, if I'm correct, they sell they sell different versions, 110, 220. You really want to get a 221. I wouldn't recommend a 110 because this uses these machines, they use quite a bit of power. The first amount of power they use is this is the primary power consumption is in the heating block. So heating is spray foam chemicals is the number one most important thing. You really want to get it to a nice good temperature. If you don't, you're just gonna have inconsistencies. You're gonna have issues. You're gonna have low yields. So you really want to heat it. And the heater on this, if I'm correct, is like 6-7 kilowatts. They have a Winter Boy version. That's like their branding. They call it Winter Boy, and that's for winter climates. It has a much higher heating capacity. I think it's like 12 or something. I forgot. You gotta look into it, but I'm in Florida where we don't need that. So yeah, they have a Winter Boy version which has a much higher heating capacity, and that one's a lot better for colder temperatures. So it heats up faster. Second thing is the heating hoses. The hoses themselves are heated. Um, and then that's really it for that. This machine says it's pneumatically driven, and it also needs an air compressor. It needs a really good air compressor. The air compressor I'm using, I just used a. You can pretty much, you just need a 5 horsepower air compressor. That's what I suggest. You can buy the 5 horsepower motors on Amazon also for like 200-300 bucks. You could buy a actual compressor unit also for like three whatever 100 bucks, or you can look around on Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, look for like a gas powered one. Gas powered is nice again if you're doing, so the issue with spray foaming is if you're doing everything, or 99% of the time you're doing everything mobile, right? You're going up to a site either with no electrical power supply or very low power supply, because remember, we're talking about because ended up totaling all the equipment, you're going to be using around 12 kilowatts of power or more. That's the bare minimum. So 12 kilowatts of power, that's a lot of power, and there's not an outlet that you just go and plug in. What you could do is what's called shore power, and you get a breaker and run a really thick heavy cord and actually connect that to the breaker box, so you get like a 60-80 amp breaker, and you connect that way, and then that feeds your spray foam rig. So a trailer is going to be needed for this, so you can bring your chemicals, your machine, your air compressor, your tools, your suits, whatever, everything you need. You're gonna need a good trailer for that. So yeah, the first option is shore power if you have access to power on site. That's primarily what I've been doing since I've been just doing it for my workshops. If you don't have power on site, then you have to do a generator, and a generator is gonna be, like I say, you'd probably want like a 15 kilowatt generator, because generators, you don't want to run them at max capacity. You want to run them at 80% capacity. You never want to run beyond that. You're gonna mess up the generator. It's just not going to be strong enough. So yeah, so there's that probably some other things I need to say, not sure. But totaling all this, you're probably going to be ending up spending, for the trailer, the air compressor, for this, your time, blah blah blah. You're going to be ending up spending around $15,000 or so. So it's don't it's way cheaper than I mean a brand new American made spray foam machine costs way more. So it's I've had this for I think almost 2.5 or something years, and it's still running. You're supposed to use kind of like a printer. You're supposed to use these things every single month, otherwise the lines clog up. Occasionally, what I do is I'll purge it, the isocyanide side, so it doesn't crystallize. But yeah, I mean, you're supposed to do that. Sometimes I don't. I just rebuild the entire pump after 6 months of not using it, and it still works. Wow, great, right? Who cares? Because I already saved my money. They quoted me for each of these buildings. They wanted to around $14,000. I was able to do both of them myself for like I think like $8,000 worth of chemicals. So saved myself there about $22,000. Yeah, a little less. But anyways, point is, very worthwhile machine. Um, Very happy with it. You could always resell it if you just need to do 1 or 2 jobs, but I'd recommend it. Stay subscribed if you want to. Actually, no, don't stay subscribed. If you're watching this sort of content, I do not want anything to do with you guys. Like I said, this industry, you guys have problems. Everyone here is absolutely terrible. Not everyone. I want to say there's a few people I really, really respect in this industry. Everyone else, screw you. Don't subscribe. Have a great day.